may be a fool's mission, but I'm currently walking to Daventry to get some groceries. I walked to Daventry last week, but I went like the roadway and it was miserable because there was no pavement and I kept getting splashed by cars. But today I decided I'd go cross country, and I'm actually above the Braunston tunnel now, so I followed the towpath along the locks, and then when I got to the tunnel, the towpath kind of obviously leaves the canal because you don't go through the tunnel and you walk over the top, and it's just lovely up here. So I think I'm about half an hour walk away, so I'm going to keep going. So I think this is one of the ventilation shafts that leads down to the tunnel below.
It is time to move.
We got up this morning thinking we were going to move, and then we heard some horror stories about people that tried to move yesterday who had to turn around because there was too much ice past the junction, like the Braunston junction with the Grand Union and the Oxford.
And now we've had somebody tell us that there's no problem there.
And someone's gone up, a guy that came back yesterday.
He's desperate to get to work.
Yeah, he went about half an hour ago and he hasn't come back yet, so I think we're going to risk it.
We're going to try it. So we're going to turn at Braunston Marina here, spin around, come past the water point we just filled up at, past the lovely mooring we've been sitting at for almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, 11 nights we've had here.
Yeah, they're really nice.
Really
and then,
nice.
Try and head north.
Yeah.
And there's runny babbits over there.
Hi, bunny rabbits.
I always call them runny babbits.
Runny babbits.
Yeah, because they're runny and they're babbit.
So we've had it all here. We've got snowed in, we've got iced in. What else?
We got a chimney. And there's been like really bad cell service. So, you know, whatever you do, don't come to Braunston to make any phone calls. But yeah, it's been good. It's been nice. But it's time to try and move on, even if at the end of the day what we end up doing is moving only back to our mooring.
That'll make a good video.
Yeah. Get up, hit some ice, reverse back, come back to the same place where we started. Yay. So, we finished today's cruise, which was incredibly exciting. We got up this morning. We went 4 boat lengths that way to the water point. We went another 4 boat lengths to the Braunston Marina, where we spun ourselves around 180 degrees to follow a couple of boats. One guy had come down and said that
It was clear.
It was clear, and that there wasn't really a problem. And then another guy had gone up, and we thought, well, he's in a hurry. We'll follow him, and he seems to have been gone for quite a while. So,
and we knew he was going the way we're going.
Yeah. Then the second guy turned around, and we thought, oh, he's going the other way. Fine. But you know, then we get maybe another 10 boat lengths that way, further down there, past the road bridge, passing through beautiful Braunston's extremities. I guess you'd call it the suburbs of Braunston, and you know, saw 2 boats coming the other way, and it was the 2 boats that had just passed us going that way. And you know, one of them had been past us for quite a while, and I guess there was some problem turning around. Anyway, they'd given up because of the ice.
So we gave up before we even got to the ice.
Yeah, so we gave up.
And then
so we spun around.
Michael turned us round in the at the junction.
In a brilliant, beautiful maneuver.
It was a beautiful maneuver.
It was like so tight, tiny little movements, you know, right up against, had to just tap up against the wood and then slowly spin around to get us past these, you know, through. And only then did we realize.
No, I knew.
You knew.
Yeah, but you'd gone past the point of return when I knew. Because I was inside the boat, so I didn't know you were turning. Like, I didn't know where we were. I was like, oh, good, there's a turning point. He'll be in the turning point because I knew you were turning. I came out and I was like, he's not in the turning point.
No, I was before the turning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have kept going. Anyway, apparently there was a turning point, another 2 boat lengths further, so we could have gone a little bit further, had a longer journey, and turned around. But instead, we turned around in a place where we weren't supposed to turn around, had to go out of our way to not hit anything, and then came back and ended up at exactly the same place where we launched this morning.
I mean, we like it here, but we are really ready to be somewhere new. And, you know, there's a small matter of needing to get a train a week on Saturday. So.
Yeah. But luckily, well, the forecast right now is for a deep freeze tonight and tomorrow, followed by some warming after, of all things, my birthday. So hopefully there's no ice here, obviously, but there is ice here. So, you know, we're not lying about the ice. So up that way, hopefully there will be no significant ice within a couple of days, and we'll be able to make it through on our trip to Rugby.
So we tried to move the boat last Thursday, it's now Monday. Lots of boats are moving over the weekend, but we didn't. And now it's all icy again. Although to be fair, yesterday it was pouring with rain, so it would have been miserable. And so we're not sure whether to go today, although actually it doesn't look icy in this bit at all. A couple of boats have come down and they said it's very thin, so I think we're going to go for it. I think I'm going to get Michael to start the engine and fill up with water again, because we've used some since Thursday, and then push on finally.
So we're finally leaving Braunston. Lovely place. Been here.
That's the plan, we haven't left yet.
Yeah, been here 15 days. 15 days?
Yeah.
Due to being frozen in, couldn't move. Was frozen in again this morning, but thankfully not so thick that we can't move.
And I just went up to do a little walk and it looks okay.
And we just saw somebody who's come down the route we're going in, so we think it'll be fine. There's kayaks out, so clearly people are crazy in England. But anyway.
But then Michael just opened up the engine to do the engine checks and found a leak.
Yeah, we've got a coolant leak. It's a slow drip, so I think I can take care of it just with a couple of Jubilee clips. So we'll stop and pick some of those up. Yeah, got to take care of that, because otherwise we're going to lose all our coolant. And we got a loose alternator belt, so I got to take care of that as well.
All right, should we go?
Yeah, we're underway. We're underway. We got coal, lots of. Cut some pieces to fix the leaky water thingamajig, hopefully. And now we're continuing on north.
So we've made it from Braunston to the 3 locks at Hillmorton.
And come down the 3 locks, which are interesting because they're double locks.
Yeah, first time we've done double locks.
But they're not like double locks, like 2 locks, one on top of each other. 2 locks side by side, so that 2 people can pass going in opposite directions.
Yeah.
And yet they seem to have been coordinated to all be against us. So,
but it was quite busy even today. I was like, oh, you don't need 2 locks today. But then there was quite a bit of traffic going through.
yeah, it was funny. There was 0 traffic all the way to Hillmorton, and then all of a sudden there was like 5 boats.
Yeah, on the locks.
4 boats. 4
boats.
Yeah,
Including us.
going through the locks. The fog was a bit much. It was interesting because like we've had fog before, but we haven't had fog where like we needed to turn on the light to let people know we were coming.
Yeah, we couldn't see too far, like 20 metres in front of us.
Yeah, the whole time, and there was a lot of like glare, so I actually ended up with quite a headache. We're just filling up with a little water, and it turns out I might have lost the quick release type adapter thingy, but I don't know how.
You left it on the tap probably.
I have no idea how I could have left it on the tap.
I don't know. We'll have to get a new one. We'll have to get 2 new ones so we've got a spare.
Yeah.
So
and maybe we'll get the skinny hose thing that I've been
maybe get it
thinking about as a Christmas thing the whole time.
So yeah, we'll probably stay here tonight now, although I don't know what food we've got.
Well, we'll figure that out. It might be like freeze-dried noodles and some ketchup or something. And then...
not ketchup.
Not ketchup. Tomorrow we're moving up into Rugby where there's a Tesco's and we can properly stock up because we've run low on stocks during the ice over in Braunston because only one of us could leave the boat at the time, and it was Joe going into Bangladesh. That's the wrong word. Daventry. Wasn't Bangladesh. Anyway, yeah, Joe would go into Daventry and cart back what she could, but at the end of the day, that wasn't really very much.
It was enough.
It was enough. We got it through. We didn't starve. But on the final day...
I managed to carry your apple pies and your wine gums.
Yeah, in a large amount of...
A lot of oranges.
And a lot of Bounties and a lot of Twixes. All of which I've noticed have disappeared very rapidly. We're going through a lot of candy right now.
Yeah, after Christmas, New Year's resolution, less chocolate.
Yeah, we don't normally do this, but...
George has managed to get incredibly muddy in no time at all.
Yeah, so I'm going to get spray him down with the hose in a second.
Oh.
That's him. He's over there. He's very muddy.
Everyone knows who George is.
Well, oddly enough, it looks kind of bright out here. The sun is like 10 minutes from setting.
Yeah.
This is the light level we've had all day. It's been, it's actually been really nice.
It's been a nice day. What just happened?
George decided to swim in the canal.
Why?
Because I threw the ball and it hit the tree and then it fell out of the tree and then it hit the canal. Where's your ball, George? There's the ball. Anyway, now he's soaking wet in the middle of winter. And whose fault is it, George?
The next morning.
It is.
Although it's nearly afternoon.
Yeah, we've been waiting for the sun, which was up strongly, to melt what it could of the ice that has formed between us and Rugby.
We've only got like half an hour to cruise, so...
Probably more like an hour, but yeah. Bit of ice formed overnight, not too bad, not as bad as it's been. And it's relatively thin, but we were like, hopefully it would sort of, melt a little bit, and it hasn't. So what we're going to do is do a bit of soft core ice breaking, because it is basically just slush at this point. We've got a lovely big silo over there, chimney thing. It's kind of hard to tell.
We didn't see any of the scenery yesterday.
No, like you literally couldn't see beyond the edge of the canal.
Like I think it was like mainly fields of sheep.
Yeah, but it was crazy because we were in the fog and I was coming up one direction and I yelled something to either Joe or George, I don't know, and I started a stampede of sheep on the other side. I just heard this noise and I was like, what was that? And then like out of this mist you see like, if you just peer hard enough you can sort of make out these 70 or 80 sheep running for their lives. It was really funny. I mean, not for the sheep, and I'm sorry to the farmer. I apologize. I am, a man with no eyes. Here I am, a man with no head. Here I am, a man. Starting. So, it was a cold and foggy day. My hair. Is that a kayak? Good Lord.
Not a canoe.
Not a canoe. Some people are insane. Braunston Harbour has been gorgeous.
Harbour.
Wharf, Marina.
Wharf.
Area. Yeah, it's
on,
been
where's the dog?
just all
Where's the
fog.
dog?
I always keep track of where the dog is.
Apart from when we lost him 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, but that was you losing him. I know where he is. I didn't know where he was when you lost him.
Everyone knows who George is.
Well, I know who he is. I'm glad I know who he is. You know who he is. I'm tired. Oh, crap, nasty.
Oh, George is doing a poo.
Excellent.
That he lost.
That he lost.
No, that he lost.
Yes, I lost his ball. I lost his ball by throwing it to the dog. The dog then bounced it off his little nuzzly muzzly into the water, where it bounced across the ice because the ice was there. Really, it's the fault of the weather gods.
But how many times have you lost balls into the canal when playing with the ball near the canal?
I've spent no time whatsoever playing with balls near the canal.
What you should do is go into a field next to the canal, like that field.
I'm not going to go into the field to play with my balls either. I'm going to throw balls for the dog. I will throw balls. I will not play balls.
Okay.
Usually.
Anything that's sensible to add?
I don't think there's anything sensible to be said at all. I'm assuming they're farming. Are they like making sheep's milk or something?
No. Which would also be farming.
Well, it'd be farming, but I mean, like, I'm assuming that they're like either wool or meat, but like, I don't know. Okay, we're on our way in like 10 minutes once the engine is warm. Okay.